There's no happy ending. I don't believe it anymore. I have a choice. I can go back.
Hollywood's ultimate nepo baby and daddy's little princess. Growing up as the daughter of Tori Spelling, one of the richest TV producers in history, Tori had everything. Mansions, money, fame, you name it. But with all that wealth came public scrutiny, especially when it came to her dad's massive inheritance. People have been wondering for years, what happened to that fortune? And what about the will? Did Tori get left out? Tori's story of life is one wild ride. After everything she's been through, will she ever truly escape the shadow of her father's legacy? Or is there more drama waiting just around the corner? Growing up in one of the most extravagant and luxurious mansions in Beverly Hills, with a father who's a Hollywood legend. It sounds like a real-life fairy tale, doesn't it? Well, that was Tori's life. She was practically a real-life princess, living in the lap of luxury, with none other than Tori Spelling, the TV mogul, as her dad. Tori was the ultimate daddy's little girl. Tori Spelling wasn't just any dad. He was the producer behind shows like Dynasty and Beverly Hills 90210. Tori was his pride and joy, and honestly, he spoiled her like crazy. She was his princess, and he made sure she lived like one. She grew up in a massive 56,000 square foot mansion, famously known as the Manor. It was a palace. I mean, this place had 123 rooms. There was a bowling alley, swimming pools, multiple kitchens, basically every amenity you could dream of. Now Tori Spelling was one of the wealthiest and most successful TV producers of his time, and naturally he lived like it. The Spellings didn't do ordinary. Luxury cars, fancy clothes, exotic vacations, they had it all. And because Tori was the apple of Tori's eye, she got to bask in all of that glamour. It's safe to say that Tori spared no expense when it came to his little girl. From the outside, it was the perfect bond, filled with endless affection and attention. And then, there's Mom. Tori's relationship with her mom, Tori Spelling, was a little more complicated. Candy was more of a disciplinarian, which is pretty standard in most families, but when you're growing up in a mansion and have everything you want, it's easy to see how clashes can happen. There's always been talk of their strained relationship, but at the end of the day, they were family. Candy did her part, managing that massive household and keeping everything in order. Let's not forget, Tori wasn't just living in a mansion with celebrity parents. She had glamorous parties, luxurious gifts, and attended prestigious private schools. It's like she was in a constant episode of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. She went to some of the best private schools in Los Angeles. Tori attended the John Thomas Dye School, a super elite elementary school, and later on, she went to Harvard Westlake School, which is one of those fancy schmancy schools where celebrities send their kids. Despite all the luxuries, Tori had a passion for acting from a young age. It's like Hollywood was in her DNA. After all, when your dad creates hit TV shows for a living, it's kind of hard not to catch the acting bug. So little Tori started taking acting classes as a kid. Sure, she had access to the best acting coaches money could buy, but she put in the work. Tori was determined to make her mark in Hollywood. But even with her determination, Tori's road to acting wasn't without its bumps. As much as she loved the spotlight, she struggled with self-doubt and constant comparisons to her father's success. Hollywood could be ruthless, especially for someone like Tori, who was constantly fighting the nepo baby label. It wasn't just about proving herself to others. It was about proving to herself that she deserved her place in the industry. There were times she almost walked away from it all, feeling the weight of expectations crush her passion. But each time, she found a reason to push forward, determined to show that her talent was more than just her last name. But the pressure of living up to her father's success wasn't easy. Hollywood wasn't just a dreamland for Tori. It was a proving ground. Being the daughter of Tori Spelling meant she constantly faced judgment and assumptions about her talent. Was she really skilled, or was her success purely a result of her father's influence? This created a drive in Tori to prove herself, to show the world that she could stand on her own 2 feet. As much as she was Daddy's little princess, the real challenge was stepping out of his shadow and making her name truly her own. Let's start with Beverly Hills, 90210. Now yes, her dad was the one who created the show, but don't think for a second that she just waltzed in and got the role of Donna Martin handed to her on a silver platter. Well, maybe the silver platter part is true, but she auditioned under a fake name, Tori Mitchell, to make sure no one would know she was the boss's daughter. And boom, she landed the role of Donna Martin, the sweet, somewhat innocent girl next door. And that's when Tori Spelling stepped into the Hollywood spotlight. 90210 was huge. Everyone was glued to their TVs, obsessed with the drama, the friendships, the romances, and of course, Donna's evolving love life. I mean, who could forget the whole storyline of Donna waiting until marriage? Tori played that character from 1990 to 2000, a whole decade. Even though some people might have snickered that she got the part because of her dad, Tori owned it. She brought Donna to life in a way that made her one of the most beloved characters on the show. One of her early roles was in the teen comedy troupe Beverly Hills. She had a small part, but it was a sign that Tori was dipping her toes into film waters. Then came Mother, May I Sleep with Danger, in 1996. Yes, the cult classic Lifetime movie. The title alone is enough to make you curious. Tori played a college girl whose boyfriend turns out to be, well, a total psychopath. It's one of those so bad it's good kind of movies. She also did some quirky indie films, like The House of Yes. She also had a role in Scream 2, where she had a fun little meta cameo playing a version of herself. Honestly, Tori always had a way of making fun of herself, and that's something you've got to admire. But it wasn't all quirky indie flicks and cult classics. Tori's next step was to dominate the world of TV movies. You could barely flip through the channels in the early 2000s without seeing her on screen in some kind of drama, whether it was about a romance gone wrong or someone's secret double life. Beyond the TV movie scene, she guest starred on popular shows like Smallville and The Help. She even had a short-lived reality show with her mom called So Notorious, where she poked fun at her Hollywood image and life. I mean, a reality show about being a former teen star with a famous family? She knew exactly what she was doing. But what about her dating life? Because what's a young Hollywood starlet without romances? Tori definitely had her share of flings and boyfriends over the years. One of her more high-profile relationships was with Nick Savalas, who, by the way, is the son of actor Telly Savalas. Tori and Nick were together for a little while in the mid-90s, and people thought they were kind of a perfect match. But alas, it wasn't meant to be. And then there was her relationship with actor Vincent Young, who also starred in Beverly Hills 90210. Ah, dating your co-star, a tale as old as time in Hollywood. The two dated for a few years, and of course, people were obsessed with the idea of a real-life 90210 romance. It's like when your favorite characters hook up on screen and you hope it's happening in real life too. And for a while, it did. But like many young Hollywood romances, it fizzled out. There were also plenty of rumors swirling around during Tori's time on 90210 about potential flings with other actors. Hollywood is like a giant high school, except with way more money, paparazzi, and drama. Tori even became a best-selling author. She wrote multiple books, including her memoir, Tori Telling. It gave fans a behind-the-scenes look at her life, both the glamorous and not-so-glamorous sides. And let's not forget her cameos in pretty much every TV show you can think of, from RuPaul's Drag Race to Mystery Girls. Tori was constantly reinventing herself, taking on new projects and staying relevant, even when people might have counted her out. But hold on a second, we're not done yet. Tori's love life didn't end with her co-star flings and short-term boyfriends. We still haven't talked about the real drama, her marriages. First, there was her whirlwind romance with her first husband, Charlie Shanahan, and then the very public love story with Dean McDermott. And let me tell you, it all started out like a real-life fairy tale. You know those love stories where everything seems picture-perfect? That was Tori and Charlie. They met in 2002 while working on a play together. Charlie was a playwright and actor, and Tori was, well, Tori Spelling, a Hollywood princess. They seemed to be the perfect match, both involved in the arts, both chasing their dreams, and both falling head over heels for each other. Tori, coming from her Hollywood royalty background, probably loved how different Charlie was from the Hollywood guys she was used to. He was more grounded, more normal. Their romance blossomed quickly, and before long, Charlie proposed to her in 2003. Now, if you're Tori Spelling and you're getting married, you're going to have a wedding that's straight out of a movie. Their wedding was this insanely lavish event held at Tori's parents' mansion. It was like the royal wedding of Beverly Hills. For a moment, everything appeared flawless, but unfortunately, it wasn't. Tori and Charlie's marriage didn't exactly have the happiest of endings. After they tied the knot, things started to unravel pretty quickly. Tori has said in interviews that she felt trapped in the marriage. She said that she felt like she was playing a role, trying to live up to the image of the perfect wife and perfect couple. But deep down, she wasn't happy. Charlie, on the other hand, thought everything was fine. He loved Tori and believed they were building a future together. But the cracks in their relationship were becoming too big to ignore. They just weren't on the same page anymore. Tori wanted more excitement, more passion. And then, Dean McDermott happened. Okay, so here's where things get spicy. In 2005, while still married to Charlie, Tori met Dean on the set of a movie called Mind Over Murder. And from the moment they met, sparks flew. Tori has been super open about the fact that it was love at first sight. She's admitted that she and Dean slept together the very first night they met. Now, there's one little detail that made this all a lot more complicated. Dean was also married at the time. Yup, he was married to Canadian TV personality Mary Jo Eustace, and they had a kid together. So not only was Tori cheating on Charlie, but Dean was also cheating on his wife. Tori and Dean couldn't stay away from each other. Their chemistry was undeniable, and they quickly fell into a full-blown affair. It wasn't just a fling. Tori knew she had found the man she wanted to be with, even if it meant blowing up her marriage. And that's exactly what happened. In 2005, just 2 years after the wedding, Tori filed for divorce from Charlie. And let me tell you, Charlie was blindsided. He had no idea that Tori was having an affair with Dean, or that she was unhappy in the marriage. He thought they were still working things out. So when he saw her scandal on the tabloids, he was devastated. And as if that wasn't bad enough, Tori's affair with Dean became super public, super fast. The tabloids had a field day with the story. Hollywood royalty leaves her husband for a Canadian actor she met on a Lifetime movie set. After divorcing Charlie, Tori didn't waste any time. She and Dean got engaged just a few months later in December 2005. And just like that, Tori was ready to walk down the aisle again. They got married in a private ceremony in Fiji in May 2006, just 1 year after meeting each other. No giant mansion, no Hollywood guest list, just the two of them, barefoot on the beach. Tori was head over heels for Dean, and it seemed like they were finally starting the life they both wanted. Not long after, in 2007, they welcomed their first child together, a son named Liam Aaron McDermott. Yep, he was named after Tori's father, Aaron Spelling, which was a super sweet tribute. Tori's transition into motherhood was something she talked about a lot, and it was clear that having a family with Dean was a dream come true for her. Despite all the drama that led them to this point, Tori and Dean seemed to be in a really good place. The two of them even started a reality show together called Tori and Dean, In Love, where they ran a bed and breakfast and gave viewers an inside look into their lives as newlyweds and new parents. It was all about Tori and Dean building their dream life together, and for a while, things looked like they were headed toward happily ever after. But was it ever really happily ever after? So here we are, with Tori and Dean married, baby Liam in the picture, and their reality show giving everyone a front row seat to their love story. But of course, nothing in Hollywood stays perfect for long, right? You might think that after all the drama, the cheating, and the public scandals, Tori and Dean would just settle into a quiet, peaceful life. But oh no, there's a lot to come. The next chapter in Tori's love life gets even messier than you'd imagine. When the whole Charlie and Dean drama unfolded, Tori's parents, especially her mom, Tori Spelling, weren't exactly thrilled. Tori was particularly close to Charlie and adored him, which made the whole situation even messier. When Tori left him for Dean McDermott, her mom wasn't happy at all. Tori Spelling, Tori's legendary TV producer father, was more reserved about the situation. He was known to be supportive of Tori, but the public scandal couldn't have been easy for him, considering his massive Hollywood reputation. As the affair turned into a very public divorce, Tori's relationship with her parents became strained, especially with Tori. Tori and her mom started growing distant, with Tori reportedly disapproving of her choices. Things got so bad that they barely spoke for a while. The tension reached its peak after Tori Spelling died in 2006, when Tori and Tori's rift seemed to widen even further, adding layers to an already dramatic family dynamic. Their relationship would take years to mend after all the fallout. So after the whole drama, Tori and Dean settled into family life and started their journey as parents. It seemed like they were starting a new chapter, ready to embrace life as a family. After Liam came their second baby, Stella Doreen McDermott, born in June 2008. Life seemed pretty rosy for a while. Tori and Dean were busy raising their growing family, starring in their reality show, and living what seemed like a Hollywood fairy tale. But as we know, with Tori and Dean, drama isn't too far behind. By the time their third baby, Hattie Margaret McDermott, arrived in October 2011, things were getting a little more intense. Tori was juggling a lot, from her growing family to financial pressures, but she kept going. Then came their fourth baby, Finn Davy McDermott, in August 2012. Tori had a rough pregnancy with Finn, even being hospitalized for complications. But despite the challenges, they made it through and added yet another little one to the family. The McDermott family was massive. It seemed like Tori and Dean had everything under control, and everything seemed to be perfect. But you know what they say, once a cheater, always a cheater. Dean's cheating scandal again. It was revealed that Dean had cheated on Tori. Tori was devastated, and things between them got really rough. She tried to put on a brave face for the cameras and the kids, but it was hard to ignore the tension brewing behind the scenes. On top of that emotional roller coaster, things got even sadder for Tori when her father, Tori Spelling, passed away. It is really heartbreaking. Just 2 weeks before he died, Tori went to see him, despite everything going on with her and Dean. It was like all the cheating scandals, family drama, and even her struggles faded away at that moment. She was just a daughter saying goodbye to her dad. But then came the drama over Aaron's will and inheritance. This part is wild, the part we were all waiting for. You would think that the daughter of one of the wealthiest TV producers in history would be set for life, right? Well, nope. Aaron's estimated $500 million estate was largely left to his wife Tori, while Tori and her brother Randy reportedly only received around $800,000 each. The relationship between Tori and her mom, Tori, became even more strained after Aaron's death. There were rumors of feuds over money, the will, and family dynamics. The two women didn't talk much for a while. But amidst all this chaos, Tori and Dean were slowly trying to work things out. After Dean's cheating scandal, they attended therapy and put in the effort to rebuild their marriage. And believe it or not, they started falling in love all over again. They gave it another shot. Then in 2017, their fifth baby arrived, little Bo Dean McDermott. This baby was different, though. Bo wasn't just another addition to their big family. He symbolized the revival of their love. After everything they'd been through, Bo represented a fresh start, a new chapter in their relationship. It was like a second chance at happiness for them, and they embraced it with open arms. But of course, life is never that simple. While they were working through their relationship, Tori and Dean were hit with some serious financial troubles. By 2016, news started breaking about their growing debt and looming bankruptcy. They faced lawsuits over unpaid credit card bills and tax issues, and the media had a field day with their financial struggles. The financial stress put even more pressure on their marriage. But somehow, despite all the financial setbacks, they managed to keep things together for the sake of their kids. While they were still juggling all these issues, they were also managing their large family and public image, and trying to get back on their feet financially. They took on various TV projects, reality shows, and appearances to stay afloat. Tori and Dean's story has been nothing short of a roller coaster. But what about Randy? If you followed their family drama, you'll know that Tori and Randy weren't exactly the closest siblings growing up. I mean, they were raised in a massive mansion with very different personalities. Tori was the Hollywood princess, and Randy? Well, he kind of went in a different direction. Randy dabbled in acting for a while, but eventually he left the industry altogether and focused on a career as a life coach. He's all about personal growth and helping others, which is pretty cool considering his upbringing. While Tori was out there making waves in Hollywood, Randy took the more low-key route, moving to Oregon to live a quieter life. But here's the thing. Despite not being super close for years, Tori and Randy never let family drama, like the whole inheritance thing, get between them. Even though they didn't inherit much from their father's massive fortune, neither of them seemed too bothered by it. They've both built their careers, and while Tori's had her ups and downs in the public eye, she's always been hustling. Randy's taken the self-made route too, building a career that's separate from the Spelling family legacy. They weren't those siblings fighting over money or family estates. They've made it clear that they've worked for what they have and didn't depend on their family's wealth. Over the years, Tori and Randy have worked on their relationship, and things have improved. They've reconnected, and from the looks of it, they're in a much better place now. It's refreshing to see that they've left the distance behind and seem to genuinely support each other. Now, on to the Dean drama, because, of course, there's more. After years of public ups and downs, cheating scandals, and trying to make their marriage work, Tori finally filed for divorce from Dean McDermott in 2024. Honestly, it wasn't a huge shock to anyone who's been keeping up with their roller coaster relationship. They tried therapy and tried to rekindle the love, but sometimes it just doesn't work out, right? But here's the thing. Despite everything, Tori and Dean have managed to maintain a professional and co-parenting relationship for the sake of their kids. It's not easy, but they're both committed to being there for their children, which is great to see. Now, as for Tori's relationship with her mom, well, that's a whole other saga. The mother-daughter relationship has been famously rocky for years. At one point, Candy claimed she never gets to see her grandchildren, which sparked even more drama. She said that Tori was keeping her away from the kids, and that didn't sit well with Tori. Tori clapped back, denying those claims and saying that Candy's version of events wasn't the truth. In interviews, Tori explained that her kids do see their grandmother, and she didn't appreciate the narrative being pushed that she was somehow keeping them apart. But through it all, Tori's made it clear that her priority is her children, and she doesn't want to drag them into the family drama. It's interesting because, for all the public tension between Tori and her mom, you can tell there's still a lot of love there. They've had some serious issues over the years, but at the end of the day, they're still family. And while things might not always be perfect between them, Tori has always been vocal about the importance of family, whether it's her relationship with her mom, or keeping things civil with Dean for their kids. Whether it's dealing with family feuds or financial struggles, she keeps pushing forward. The relationship with her brother Randy, getting better. The co-parenting situation, it's a work in progress, but they're making it happen. Tori Spelling's life right now? Honestly, it's been tough. Really tough. Despite growing up in luxury these days, her life is far from what you'd expect for the daughter of a mega-famous Hollywood producer. She's living a much more modest life, and it's heartbreaking to see how far things have changed for her. Tori is currently living with her 5 kids in a rented home. There were even reports not too long ago that she had been staying in a motel with her kids due to some issues with their housing. Can you imagine? From living in a palace-like estate to a cramped motel room. Her mother hasn't swooped in to save the day either, at least not in the way people might expect. Candy has always been clear that she's not planning to bail Tori out financially, which is a huge shocker considering the Spelling fortune. Even though Candy has said she supports her daughter and helps with the grandchildren here and there, it doesn't seem like Tori's been receiving the kind of financial help you'd think she'd get from her super wealthy mom. What's even sadder is that Tori is still working non-stop to provide for her kids. She's doing reality TV, podcasting, writing books, and taking up as many gigs as she can. But it seems like the weight of everything is just overwhelming. The glamorous Hollywood life she once lived feels so far behind her now. Every day it's about making ends meet. And when you're raising 5 kids, that's no easy task. You can tell she's doing her best, but the pressure has got to be immense. The financial strain has taken a toll on her mental health too. Tori's been open about how hard things have been, and it's clear she's struggling emotionally. Balancing being a mom, dealing with her issues, and trying to stay afloat financially, it's a lot for anyone to handle. And without much support from her mother, she's had to rely on herself and do it all on her own. It's a far cry from the fairy tale childhood Tori had. But even though things are hard, one thing you've got to admire is her resilience. She's been through a lot: public scandals, divorce, family drama, financial crises, and yet she's still standing, still pushing forward for her kids. That's the one thing that's never changed about Tori. Her love for her children. No matter how tough life gets, she will always fight for them. So that's the roller coaster ride of Tori Spelling's life. Luxury, love, scandals, and struggles. From Hollywood royalty to facing real-life hardships, she's lived it all. But the real question is, will Tori finally catch a break? Or is this just the beginning of another chapter in her wild story? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.